Think we're going live. Here we go.
Oh, we are going live.
Whoop, whoop. All right. It officially says that we are live, and, well, this is the first time we've done this in a while, but I want everybody out there to know and remember, we were, maybe, the first podcast to ever do this live on Facebook Live, doing this each and every week. Nobody else was doing it when we started doing this. We kind of figured it out. We actually started it on YouTube. What was that? What was the YouTube thing called? It wasn't even YouTube Live. It was the, what were those things called at the time? Can't remember.
Webinars or something?
No, it was YouTube, because they had YouTube Live and then they had the little meeting thing. And anyway, we were doing it through that. Basically a live video. And
GoToMeeting?
No, it wasn't GoToMeeting. It was YouTube. It was totally a YouTube thing.
Hangouts.
Hangouts. Yes, so we used to do it on Hangouts, and then we did it on Facebook Live when that became available this way. So we were the first. So anybody else who says they're the pioneers, no, that was us.
Okay, so
nobody watched, but that was us.
Where are we streaming? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Well, we should be streaming to a whole buttload of places, and I'm going to double check and see here before we get started with the actual show. And you could be watching this. Yep, we are. I see us right there.
Where?
Ray the Video Guy and the Ray the Video Guy group. And let's check Video Marketing Madness. So it looks like we are on lots of places. We should be on about 4 or 5 pages and 4 or 5 more groups. And Video Marketing Madness, we are live there now. Yes, indeed. So we're good.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see us on Video Marketing Madness.
There we go. All right, so for those of you who are joining us for the first time. What?
Are you live on your profile? Ray the Video Guy profile?
No, not on the profile, no, sadly. Doesn't work that way anymore. Doesn't work that way. I could copy and paste it now that we're there. In fact, why don't I do that? Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves. The rutabaga is neither a bega nor a ruta.
Hey, look at that girl behind you. Is that do you know her?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
She works for Doug, who may be watching right now, because we are live in some of those groups as well. Some of the local stuff here, so he may be watching. You never know. She might be watching. All right, so let's see if I can. I'm going to share this out to my profile as well. Share now public. There we go. All right, and we do have people watching right now, so welcome. If you're back, this is the first time we've done it in a while. We actually, last time we did it live like this was before we moved the office, and we were having internet issues and stuff where we couldn't get things to work, and so we kind of started doing the Skype thing, and then I moved offices, and today I was like, you know what? We got all these new tools in Facebook to share to all these different places. Let's get back and do the live again. And so we have. So you guys get to watch behind the scenes as we make the podcast, which means what we'll do is in a minute we will go all formal, and we'll do an introduction. We'll play the awesome music that Steve loves, and then we'll get into the show.
All right.
How does that sound?
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and start.
All right. Are we ready? Then we'll do that in 5, 4, 3. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to discuss local TV networks and how you can create your own for your community. And we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook Reels. And Steve will probably talk about his incredibly dangerous, silly hobby of chasing trains around. But we'll find out in a minute. However, this episode is made possible by some good friends of ours, and those are our friends over at Movo. Movo makes all the great microphones, stands, lights, and everything else that you need to shoot video like a professional. In fact, not only can you get great microphones for your professional equipment, but if you want to shoot with just your smartphone, you can do that, and you can still be professional by adding a lavalier microphone, or maybe adding a wireless microphone, or anything in between. Plus, add a light, add a stand, do all sorts of great things. They even have video kits that will turn your smartphone into a whole production studio. So be sure to check out Movo right now by heading on over to raislinks.com/Movo, M-O-V-O. And with that, Steve, should we play the theme song? I think we should. Here it comes.
Right.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. Check out my YouTube channel, which is Steve Sleeper Trains. Hey, Ray.
Yes.
Quit mimicking me. I have to. Hey, I'm looking. Oh, where's your earbuds? I can hear me echoing in the background.
I know. I don't have them anymore. They've gone to an early grave, and I'm kind of stuck.
Buy some, will you?
I know.
All that money you make, I tell you what.
I know. Millions.
Okay, so YouTube Shorts on my channel, the last few have gotten around 300 views, the shorts. So I uploaded one about an hour ago, maybe two, 1,500 views. So
nice. Very good.
It's really attracted a lot of attention to my channels. I have 1,002 subscribers now.
Hey, perfect. You have hit the threshold.
Well, for subscribers to
yes.
be monetized, but let me just say that I've got about 600. I'm getting about 100 watch hours a month. So I'm at 600 on a yearly basis at this point. So I won't, you got to have 4,000 watch hours.
That is true. 4,000 hours of watch time.
So, and then with the shorts, they're going to monetize those after the first of the year.
Yep.
And let me think now. You got to have 1 million watches to get a revenue share. And I don't know that I'm going to hit that either. I think my average is probably 500 watches.
Well, a little story about that. This is more about Reels than YouTube Shorts, but YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikTok, they kind of work in the same way on the different platforms. But we have we do here at the escape room, we do a lot of short videos. Usually it's us terrorizing somebody who's in the escape room. Right. And we make these little videos and we put them up. And, with the shorts and whatnot, you see the same thing. This one might only get 20 views, 100 views, and then all of a sudden this one gets 20,000. And then the next one gets 50 views, 200 views, 1,000 views, and then 20,000 again. Well, we did one this past week. I put it up a couple days ago, about 4 days ago. And at first, nothing big. About a day and a half later, all of a sudden I noticed, as it was the end of the night, I just happened to be looking at something, and I saw that video had like 100,000 views. And I'm like, whoa, hey, all right, we got a video. It's got 100,000 views. Well, 2 days later, that video now has almost 9 million views.
Wow.
11,000 likes and hundreds of comments, which, for our little escape room videos that we do, that's pretty darn impressive. We don't see that kind of view. But the funny thing is we've seen a lot of action because of this. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about before we get into local TV. That reel that got the 8.5, it's just about 9 million views. In fact, it might be 9 million views by now because it's still going up all the time. This morning it was at like 7 and it's already at 9. And it's netted us, right, last time I looked, about 4,000 new likes or new follows to our page. So 4,000 more people are now a part of our Loganville escape room page. Which the sad part is, obviously they could be from anywhere across the world. They could be in Russia, China, New York City, California, wherever. We don't know, where they're coming from when they're doing that. But the positives of this are still many because, one, that's going to increase how many people see our stuff when we put it out there, which means Facebook's going to put it in front of more people. And then we have more likelihood that it's going to get in front of the people that we want to get it in front of who can come in here. The other thing is I've been monitoring all of the comments and commenting back and whatnot. And a lot of the people that are commenting are like, hey, where is this located at? And I'll put where it is. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got to go over there. That's not too far from here, blah, blah, blah. So we are getting people that are planning to come over here because of this. So it's not all just people far away and across the world, but it is actual local people that are getting this as well. And they are talking about coming out or, and we're seeing them share it too. That's the other thing. They're sharing that video to other people. And so we're seeing a lot of action from that. The other 2 reels that we put out just in the last day or two, those have gotten a lot more than the norm. They're not getting the millions, but they are getting in the thousands, which again, with reels, for us, a good reel is probably 1,500. Typical is 200 to 500. You know, it'll go 200, 500, 200, 1,500, then 200. You know, you never know. But now that we've got this one that's blowing up so big, we actually are seeing it have that halo effect on some of the other ones. And one of our other videos on there is over 3 million now. So, wow. And that was a total surprise because that was actually an older one. And I watched as that one jumped all the way up to 3 million as well. And so we got two of them that are in the millions now, which is really surprising. We've got both of those have about 10,000 likes on it. And if you know anything about Facebook, one of the great things about Facebook is when you have something that's posted and people like that, you can actually go in, look at all the people that have liked it, and you can hit a little button that says invite. And you can go invite. Right. So I have done that over the last 4 days.
What do you do when you click that? What's it called?
Clicking.
Invite. Boy, I'm impressed. You said that like 10 times in a row.
Well, I clicked it 10,000 times. So, yeah, and that's not a joke. I have literally clicked 10,000 of those over the last couple of days. And that 10,000, like I said, we've netted about 4,000 to 5,000 new people on our page because of that. And of course, that's going to give us a lot of momentum as we do other things. So very cool.
You can't see that. Speaking of audience, I was holding my phone up to the camera, but all you see is it's just white light. But I'm looking at the geographies, okay? And this is, I don't know, it's kind of weird to me, I guess. 21% of my views are coming from the United States.
21%?
Yeah.
And that's not too bad.
It's trains.
Mine's like 90% for most of my stuff, but...
Yeah, it's trains. I guess everybody likes trains. I don't know. 32% from India.
Yeah, you know what? India is always my second, it seems.
Wow.
In your case, it's your first, I guess. But in my case, it's usually my second. And then UK is usually up there as well.
Yeah, then Russia 2.8, Indonesia 2.6, Brazil 1.8.
I was going to say Brazil's another one that we tend to get quite a bit out of. And that's not just like with one channel. I'm talking about all my channels. If I look at all of them, that's usually the case. US, and then India, Brazil, Russia, and the UK, for whatever reason, tend to get a lot of action out of that. And I haven't really seen where all these views are on this one are coming from, but it's exciting to watch and just seeing it go up when it reached, like I said, that night it was at 100 and something thousand. I was all excited. The next morning it was at 400,000 and I was flipping out. I'm like, oh, finally. I think we got something viral. By that afternoon it was at like 3 million and then now it's at 9 million. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Now, Steve, guess how much money it's made me having millions of views?
$1.50.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
At least not.
Okay.
Well, that's actually not true. We actually had 3 groups that came walking in last night to play the escape rooms, and at least 2 of them mentioned the video. So I'm guessing all 3 probably saw the video and decided.
So what was the video? You just pounding on the door, or was it something?
Yeah, pretty
else?
much. It was just one of those. It was a group of people in the beach escape where the serial killer's coming after him, and somebody banged on the wall, and they all jumped and screamed and jumped on the bed and huddled together. And it was
I love those.
So
I love those. Now
we do a lot of them, but for whatever reason, that one is just taking off. It got pushed.
I always pay attention to your Loganville Facebook groups. You got news and events. We've done a show on that. Now you're going to have a Loganville TV network and a directory?
That is correct. So we're going to have a deals directory site, which actually already is, 98% done. It's going to be, based on the idea of Groupon, but not the business model on our side is not going to be the same as Groupon, but the business model on the consumer and the other businesses side is going to be very similar to Groupon in that they can put deals on their page and people can collect those deals and whatnot. But we're not going to collect the money on the deals. If you're a company and you decide to put a deal on there, you will collect the money. You will keep 100% of that money. What we do is we just going to provide a or have a monthly service fee to be a part of that and to put deals on your page. But you're going to collect the money. If you're not familiar with Groupon, the way Groupon works is you put your deal on Groupon, has to be lower than your normal price, and then Groupon keeps half of whatever you sell. So if you get if you normally charge $120, you put it on there for $100, you're only going to get $50. We don't do that. Right. You're going to get your whole $100, but you're going to pay, a monthly fee to have.
It's a networking thing for you, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a way to, we want to be able to connect with the businesses more, make a little bit of money off of the site. You'll be able to do upgrades on the site. There's going to be new stuff coming to it. You'll be able to add videos to it and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's very cool. I would like to have gotten it out already, but the backbone behind that, they're actually re-releasing a whole new version of it like next week. And so I'm waiting to really get my hands on that before I do that. So.
This is a Facebook group or page? What is it?
No, this is actually just a website. It's a deals website.
Okay.
But it'll be connected with the Facebook pages and groups that we have.
And for those of you that don't know, Ray's got a retail business in Loganville, Georgia. It's a market of about 15,000 people. However, it's suburban Atlanta. Well, yeah, I mean,
45 minutes away.
It's 45. Yeah, I'd call it suburban. It's Atlanta Metro.
They try to say it's Atlanta. I don't know.
Okay, whatever. But it's 40. You're northeast of Atlanta, about 45 minutes. But there's a lot of towns surrounding it. It's dense.
There is. It's a pretty good. Our demo here. Like you said, about 14 to 15,000. Of course, half of that's kids. But
sure.
Next door to us, Snellville's like 20,000, and Lawrenceville's like 50,000, or maybe even closer to 100,000, and Monroe is closer to 100,000. So there's quite a few people in the area.
Pretty big market then.
Yeah, it's a pretty good size. When I run advertising, my market area is usually between 1 and 2.5 million people, depending upon the radius that I use. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I looked up Loganville last night and read the wiki article. It doesn't say a whole lot. You should expand on that Loganville wiki article.
We actually have a Loganville page hidden in our website for the escape room. We have one for Loganville and all the surrounding. Steve, you know the trick. So we've actually got a page in there for Loganville, and it tells you all about it. It's got more stuff than Wiki does, and it's got videos in there, and it's got directions to get to the escape room and all that. And then we've got one for the next town and one for the next town. And the idea being that by having all these things in the page, you have a better opportunity of possibly showing up in the maps in different areas just by having.
But it's not in the navigation bar for the.
Correct. Yeah, it's kind of hidden behind there. Yeah. So it's there. You can get to it, but it's kind of hidden. So Well, anyway, so back to TV. So what we've got, and by the way, I've got it running behind me here. You can see it.
I was wondering what that was. Okay, I saw there were some hot girls just before this guy. So
that's Kenny. That's Kenny from Philanthropy Grill. And by the way, we are simulcasting the the podcast to the Loganville News and Events group and page, and the Loganville Business Owners page. So he may be watching right now. Hi. So this is the channel here. Basically, right now, the only thing that's really on it is the business spotlights that we've done. We've gone out and we've interviewed a lot of businesses, and we've kind of just put it on there. But what we've got planned is a lot more than that. And the way that this network works, the idea behind it was, and Steve, you probably remember this, back in the 90s, if you were to go to, I don't know, let's say you went to, where would you go to vacate? You go to Mount Rushmore. You go to Mount Rushmore, and you stay in a hotel in Mount Rushmore, and probably on Channel 3, there's going to be a little channel there that's going to tell you all about the town, and it's going to show you all of the great things going on in the town, and it's going to tell you about some of the businesses in the town, and it's going to have local advertising. Well, that's kind of gone away with, the public access cable stuff kind of disappearing and whatnot, and people not watching cable nearly as much. Well, this is kind of a revamp of that, where instead of being on public access cable, we're putting it on Roku and Apple TV and Amazon Fire, and there's a web app, there's an iOS app and an Android app, and people can watch these things from any of these devices. And we want to do a little bit more than what most of the places did back in the 90s when you kind of had those little TV stations in town, because those TV stations typically what they had was, the business spotlights like you're seeing here. They would have, if there was some sort of attraction in town, they would have a video about that attraction, and maybe they would show you the neighborhoods and whatever, but nothing too exciting to watch. But you'd kind of watch it to kind of see, you're staying in a hotel, you watch, hey, we can go see the dinosaur caves or, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's fantastic. But what we wanted to do is to take that even further. And so what we're putting together is more entertaining programming that is locally based. So kind of what people used to do back in the 50s and the 60s. Back in the 50s and 60s, long before I was born, you would have local TV programming. Yeah, sure. You would have local TV programming. In fact, even when I was a kid, there was still some local TV programming on some of our stations. Like, for instance, on Sundays, and I don't know if this was, I think this is an FCC rule. On Sundays, you had to give programming to certain local groups and churches and things like that. It was just a part of your license. And so there was local programming. We would have, Johnny's Fix-It show, and he would show you how to fix things, and then you'd have a church show or whatever. Well, I kind of want to bring a lot of that back by doing this, but make it more entertaining, yet at the same time benefit the business owners. And so the first show, which we don't quite have a name for it yet, I'm just going to call it Loganville Challenge for now. That's probably not going to be the end name, but kind of makes you understand what it is. So what that show is going to be is we're going to go to a business. So, for instance, one of the challenges might be a blind taste test challenge. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever watched Hell's Kitchen, yes, I'm totally ripping it off from there. They got to wear a blindfold, and they got to taste test food and see if they can figure out what it is. And we want to do that at a local restaurant. So we would actually, do this at a restaurant. Philanthropy going on back there. That's one of the ones that I'm hoping to do it with. So if you guys are watching. So they've got this nice outdoor patio. We'd like to do it out there. Put two people in the chairs, make them blind taste test some food, but make sure that in the show, say, hey, we're here at such and such restaurant, and we're going to be doing X, Y, and Z, and here's our contestants. Well, the contestants are going to be people from local businesses or local organizations. So it could be, the firefighters versus the police department. It could be this church versus that church. It could be the Lions Club versus the Rotary Club. It could be, John's HVAC company versus Mike's plumbing company. But we want to be able to bring in business owners or organizations so that we can, really promote three things in there. The place that we're doing it at, the restaurant or wherever we're doing it. One of the other ones is at the mini golf course that we want to do it there. So we'd be promoting the mini golf course. And then promote the businesses of the two people that are competing. And then that way, not only is it entertaining, not only are people having fun, but there's some really strong marketing that's going on there for three different businesses all at once. And I think that could be very, very successful. Some of the things we want to, by the way, the blind taste test, if they get it wrong, we want to have, like they get soup dumped on them or something if they get it wrong while they're blindfolded or pudding or something, who knows. But we'll have some fun with it.
Make sure the soup's not hot.
Yeah,
Make sure
hot soup, hot soup, very hot,
no.
boiling soup. We'll pour boiling soup over them for entertainment. Another one is we're thinking we'd do kayak races on the lake. So we'll just do it right from my house and just have them race kayaks, up and around the fountain and back down or something. Putt golf, we'll have them do like a hole-in-one competition and see who can get the hole-in-one. We may do it I'd like to do it. We've got two really cool places here in town. One is called Flashback Games, which is a retro arcade. You go in there and they got all the old arcade games from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and maybe have like a, Pac-Man competition or something like that. And they got to compete against each other in Pac-Man or, whatever it happens to be. And then we've also got a modern video gaming place, and they've got all sorts of things in there. So we could do it from there. Maybe they've got, they're doing something on the PlayStation 5 and they've got to play the latest Mortal Kombat against each other or something like that. Or air hockey. Maybe it's an air hockey tournament. But we got to make it fun. We got to make it silly, a little bit crazy, and just really spotlight those businesses. So it's a threefold marketing opportunity that's also entertaining that will hopefully get people watching this channel locally. And the other thing we want to do with this is we want to get this channel into the lobbies of all the businesses in the area. So if you got a dentist office, put a TV in there and have it running. If you got a restaurant, have it running in the restaurant. And the great thing is there was a company here. They weren't here in Loganville, but they were in all the towns around here. And what they did was they had put televisions in a lot of the businesses, and they would just run ads inside the restaurants all day long. And during COVID, it kind of just went away. The TVs are still in all those businesses. We tried to buy the company. The thing about it is that the guy that I contacted who founded the company wasn't really the owner at that point. He had kind of had an investor, so the investor owned most of the company, and the investor was off doing other things and really didn't care. And so even though we were trying to buy this company from him and take it over, the investor guy was off who knows doing what and didn't care anymore and wanted nothing to do with it, so wasn't even interested in trying to sell it. Couldn't even put that effort in. But they do have those TVs in all those restaurants, and we want to go to those restaurants and be like, hey, you already got the TV here. Let's just turn on the channel. And we will run the businesses on there, and you can see, we've got all these different businesses that are on there. Right now you can see I've got some of the other content that I've done is reviews of restaurants. So this is me reviewing Oh Shucks, which is a seafood place right up the road here. And so I just literally eat food and tell you about it. And so, we can have some fun with that kind of stuff. So that's what's on there right now is business profiles and me eating food. Very entertaining channel.
This kind of reminds me of WQAD TV, Moline, Illinois, Channel 8. And I guess Channel 7, KETV, was like this in Omaha. WQAD was kind of a Johnny-come-lately to the TV game. They signed on in 1960. Keep in mind the other two stations in the Quad Cities, 1948,
Yeah.
So they're 1960, and for some reason I remember them signing on. I was 5 years old, but I remember them signing on. And they would try anything, they would try anything from
Wheel
a local
of Fish.
Yeah. I mean, just you name it. But the big one that really stuck, and this was Channel 7 too, because I saw pictures of it, is they set up a wrestling, what do you call it, a rink, and in their parking lot, and they had all-star wrestling. Saturday nights or something, Vern Gagne and crew and all that, and they do it from the parking lot, and all they had to do was move the cameras outside, and it was cool
It's
stuff.
funny you should say that because we do have some of that some of the wrestling stuff going on here in town, and they do stuff. I'd love to talk to them about filming that and having it broadcast on the thing, even if it's a replay. Why not?
You could do
Local
that. You could do
content.
high school sports.
I have thought about the high school sports thing. Obviously, we're going to need a lot more infrastructure for that and cameras and crews and stuff like that. But
which I realize, but like the local radio stations, small town radio stations, they just use their phones, and put it on their Facebook.
Yep. And we could literally do that. We could with what we're using, the software we're using right now to do this broadcast. We can use phones remotely as what they call reporter cams. And so we could literally, just have people with cell phones on tripods recording the game and just broadcast it through here. We could do that, do it live.
Well, and if you can find somebody that, and of course this is, might be tough to do, but somebody that can do good play-by-play, you just call it like it's the radio and you have your cell phone there, and anyhow.
Yep. Well, we could get, we do better than that. We can get microphones and all that kind of fun stuff for them.
Microphones.
Microphones.
What's that?
Even.
What's a microphone?
Know, right? Guess where we'd get them from, Steve?
Movo.
Oh, you are a genius.
Thank you. Do I get a gold star?
Maybe you get a gold microphone.
Ooh, even better.
But yeah, so that's kind of the goal with this is to really start to do a lot of local type content. I've been talking with my wife about a lot of this stuff because she has a lot of really good ideas with this. I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
Wow.
It's rare these days because I'm here all the time. But
Yeah.
but so she a lot of times too. So 'cause she actually works on the other side of the wall over here.
What's she got? She still have the travel agency?
No, well, what they're doing is they're making the portable escape games and stuff right now.
Oh,
So that's what they're
cool.
doing over there.
All right.
And so they're on the other side. I don't know if they're here right now. I know they're here earlier. I don't know if they're here at the moment. But yeah, she's the one who actually kind of helped me. You know, I had the idea of like this game show where we do crazy things, and then she's like, "Well, you got to do it where it's like this business versus that business." And I'm like, "Ding!" And that's when the light bulb went off on that. I'm like, "Yep, now we've got a real winner here." If we're doing that, that's a really, really good thing. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully the people here locally are. They seem to be. I did a post to, I've got a Loganville business owners group, and in that group I posted about the station and I put the embedded version of it on a little web page and just to give a preview of it, and the numbers were, I mean, I was surprised. I expected, you know, a couple dozen people to view it or whatever, and it was actually shocking how many people actually watched it. So
wow. Cool.
It's very good stuff. And we are live in there right now, too. So Loganville Business Owners Group, we are live in that group as well. So if you're in there, you could be watching it right now live.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's quite the network we've got going now here locally. And now we just got to build on it and turn it into something really special. And hopefully we will, between the Deals site, the TV station, all the Facebook pages and groups and things, you know, it's getting a lot of recognition now, and it's doing really well. So point being, I'm bringing this up today. We wanted to do a show on this specifically because I wanted to share this with everybody, because this is something anybody could do.
Yeah.
You know, you just need about 10,000 hours and nothing better to do. You have to want to not be around your family or friends for extended periods of time.
Ray only needs 5 hours of sleep a night.
That actually is true. I do only do about 5 hours of sleep a night.
As opposed to me, I do 15.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
A little.
But no, in all seriousness, though, it's something anybody could do. You know, and this has grown very quickly. The Loganville News and Events page that's grown so much here in town and everything. I only started it, but I think I first put it up in like June or something like that, but I just threw it up there at that point in time. I didn't really start doing anything until August, so it's only been a couple of months.
We need to add something, though. The News and Events does well, and it is what it says. It's a Facebook page, News and Events. But you network a lot in the community. You're a member of the Rotary. Yes. Mm-hmm. You know, you like people. I mean, and I think if you're considering doing something like that, there you go. He just showed us his Rotary shirt. If you're doing things like that, you got to want to do the networking. Yeah. And, you know, you got to like people.
The networking is a big part of it. And
you don't have to be good looking. Just look at Ray.
That's right. You don't have to be.
Look at me.
Here's the thing about people. Most people aren't.
Yeah, I know.
So don't worry about that. If I can be on TV and stuff, you can be too.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, being out in the community is a big part of that. And the businesses that I work with here locally, that's one of the things I'm really pushing is, you know, it's not about, I mean, you want to have a great website. You want to have a great Facebook presence. You want to have a YouTube channel. You want to make sure that you've got, you know, your Google My Business set up, but you need to get out in the community. That is such a huge part of the marketing, is getting out there and doing things in your community, because that's how you're going to get people coming back to you. Who do I call when I need plumbing? You know, who do I call? Do I pick up the phone book and call somebody randomly? No, I call people that are in my networking groups. I've got 2 plumbers I can call, and those are the 2 I call when I need anything, like here at the escape room or even at the house. Haven't had a plumber over at the house yet, but here at the escape room we've had plenty of times. And we use people that we know, that we network with. My computer guy is a guy that we network with. In fact, I was at earlier today, I was at a place where I was doing a video shoot for a lady who's created a product here locally. And while I'm there, who comes walking in but one of my Rotary brothers who does all the computer stuff. He's our computer guy. Fortunately, as our computer guy, he hasn't had to do anything yet, but he is our computer guy. He just may not know it yet. Officially, he's been told he's our computer guy, but we haven't had to do anything with him yet. But yeah, so those are the people that you're going to work with. Just get out there and network. Join, you know, I joined Rotary a couple years ago because I wanted to not only get in with other business owners, but I didn't want to just go to another business group where we pass around car, you know, oh, who's your referral this week? This is my referral. Oh, you haven't referred anybody yet. And, you know, oh, here, okay, do your 2-minute presentation. Oh, now he's going to do his 7-minute. That's great.
Yeah.
It really is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't want another one of those. I wanted something where, it was more of a personal thing. It was more of a community-based thing. And we do tons and tons and tons of charity work. We do events. We just did our golf tournament where we collected tens of thousands of dollars for local charities that we were able to help out. That's what I want to be a part of. And that's why we do things like that. So if you're doing marketing, you got to do that. And, this kind of stuff is all a part of that. We put together this entire network specifically. I'll tell you, let me take one step back. The reason we started putting all this together was for one purpose, really, to get more people in the door to play escape rooms. But now it's grown into something so much bigger, to the point where, when I moved out here to this area, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do the local marketing thing anymore, actually working with local businesses and whatnot. I was still teaching people the stuff that we did for our clients that we already had across the country and whatnot. But did I really want to start doing the local marketing thing here? I don't know. Then COVID hit. When COVID hit, we started doing our trainings where we would train local business owners. Hey, here's what you can do. Since you can't even open right now, you might as well build your presence online. You might as well do this. And that started us kind of working with some of the local businesses. And then we built this. And now, I'm getting business owners that are coming to me. And just yesterday alone, I had 4 different businesses that came to me and said, hey, we need you to do stuff for us. I didn't go to them and say, you should buy my stuff. They actually came to me. And it's because we've built this network and people can see what we're doing. And they say, okay, you know what? Clearly you're doing something right. Can you help me with my YouTube channel? Can you help me create videos? Can you help me do my Facebook page? Can you help me with my Google My Business? We actually did in the Loganville business owners last night. I built one of those. I don't know if you're familiar with them, Steve. They have in Facebook groups, you have what are called rooms. And so they're kind of like a private room inside your group. And you can invite people into it. And we invited everybody into it. And we did a live session going through how to set up Google My Business properly now that they've made some of the changes. And we've got, I'll say a potential client, but it looks like a client who might even be watching right now. But he wants to meet with us, and he says he definitely wants us to be able to help him do this stuff. So, just by doing these things and just teaching and just helping and being part of the community, people will come to you. And it can be a big benefit. So this is all just a part of the plan, the TV network, the deals site, the Facebook pages, the Facebook groups, the rooms, the getting out in the public. We've got, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. We got, ringing the bell at the supermarket, for Salvation Army coming up. We've got, national stuff we're working on too. But point is, we're out in the community and we're doing things. We got a book thing that we're doing for the kids coming up, where we read stories to the book. May read stories to the books. We haven't been able to read the stories to the kids in a couple years because of the COVID stuff, but that may be back this year. But we donate books to the schools, and typically we get to read books to them, to the school kids. So all of this stuff helps to build everything that we're doing.
Very
and it's
good.
a lot of fun. I wake up very happy every day.
We're probably getting to that point in the show where we've said everything we need to say. We're at probably about 38
Steve has to hold me back
it.
because otherwise I'll talk for another
I know,
10 hours.
He'll talk for 10 hours. So who helped make this particular episode possible?
Well, I can tell you who helped make this possible. In fact, in my very pocket right now, look what I've got right here.
Ooh.
This is a new product from Movo, and I don't know if I've really showed this on here before. I know I've mentioned it. Obviously, now we've got video again, so I can show this product off, and I really want people to see this because this is a very cool product that I've been using on pretty much every single shoot that I do lately. This is a wireless microphone, but I want you to see this wireless microphone because, take a look. This is the transmitter that you would plug your microphone into, and it comes with, in this package here, I've got 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. And the microphones, it comes with 2 microphones that plug into here. But look at the size of this thing.
Wow. That is.
Okay. Now, in the old days, I used to have ones that were like this big. I mean, they were bigger than a cigarette pack.
Yeah.
And this thing, look how tiny that is. That is your transmitter, and you plug the wireless, the lapel mic into that, and we've got like I said, it comes in this particular one. It comes with 2 of them that you plug in. And on this particular one, I chose to get the one that plugs directly to an iPhone. But you can get one that plugs to Android phones. You can get one that just has a wire, so you can plug it into anything you want, which is probably the one I should have gotten, but I didn't have any that were specific to the iPhone. So I decided to get that to test out with. And I've been using this on every shoot. The one we just came back from this morning that I was talking about earlier, this is what we used, this tiny little microphone. And what's cool about this, too, is if you look at the top of this right there, see that little silvery spot there, Steve?
Yep, I do.
That is a microphone. So you, without a lapel microphone.
No, it's not. Show it to me again.
So without a lapel microphone plugged into there, you can actually use this as a microphone and talk into it and have a wireless mic without even plugging a lapel mic in.
That is crazy.
So, and it's very cool. But the other thing that really stands out about this particular product here is that this box is a battery charger. So this has a battery inside it. So if you're out shooting and your battery's low, well, look what it's doing while it's in here. You can see it's charging.
Yeah.
Even though it's only going to do it for a second because both of those are already fully charged. But so you plug this box into the wall to charge that up, and it's got a whole backup battery system. So it's, not only do you have batteries in the items, but you have this battery pack. So if you're out in the field and you're shooting for 5 hours and your microphone's dying, you can just put it back in the box. It's going to charge it up right out of the box. Even if you're out in the middle of the woods and don't have any power, you can charge it back up. So I absolutely love that. And it comes with all the other fun stuff like wind muffs. In fact, it even has wind muff for that built-in microphone on the box. It's actually got a wind muff that snaps onto that too, so that you can have a nice wind muff on there if you're using it. And I've tested this out, walked way across the parking lot, and the range was absolutely incredible. I can't remember what they say the range is on this one, and we weren't able to walk that far away, but we walked a good 100 feet away or so, and even with my back turned, it was perfect. And I've used it on every shoot since because it's so easy to use, and I absolutely love it. And you can get this, again, for your smartphone. You can get this for your traditional cameras, your DSLRs, even for your computer. You can plug it into your computer. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. And you can do that by heading on over to Movo by going to raiselinks.com/Movo and checking this one out. This one's the WMX2. And of course, they've got all sorts of other great things in there as well. They've got studio microphones. They've got wireless lapel microphones, bigger wireless lapel microphone systems. They've got total kits that you can use with your smartphone or your DSLR so that you've got microphones and everything else attached to it. Fantastic place. Check it out, raiselinks.com/Movo, and have some fun. Get some good stuff.
Do you have that funky music queued up?
I do have that funky music queued up, and unfortunately, Steve, they're going to have to watch us dancing around to it because I don't have, I didn't put a splash screen in here now that we're back on the air, so that's why you had to watch us the whole time, but that's all right. We're going to play that song, and we'll see you guys next week, same bat time, same bat channel, and whether you're watching this on on the Ray the Video Guy page or the Video Marketing Madness page or the Ray the Video Guy group or the Icebreakers group or some of the Loganville groups, we will be here next week for you once again. Be sure to comment below on wherever you happen to see it to let us know what you think. If there's a topic you want, let us know that too. All right, here's the music. Let's get out of here.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. He's
Can I shut it off now? Bye, guys. That was the recording. We're still live. All right. Well, Steve, thanks again. We'll see you all next week. I'm going to hit the button now. Goodbye.